What is going on? We are back in the world of Dokkan, and as you can see, the brand new, amazing, full power Super Saiyajin 4 Goku dropped. Now, I do want to drop a little bit of bad news because if you're like me, and if you work a 9 to 5 and are dumb, you'll realize that, wait a second, never mind, I'm a genius. For some reason, I was under the impression that I would not have these 5 tickets because I thought these tickets got converted to those tickets. I was about to say how I don't even have the free multi-sum, but I take that back. Despite having a full-time job, despite being a normie, we got the 5 summons and we about to get the guaranteed SSR. This is the guy. This is basically the missing piece of the puzzle when it comes to making a ridiculous Super Saiyan 4 team. This guy, I'm going to pretend like he doesn't exist. Goated LR, needs an easy A. Actually needs an easy A pretty damn badly, actually. I'm surprised that they didn't give an easy A to the Goku and Vegeta, the Super Saiyan Blue. They actually would have been pretty nice around the time when the fifth years got their easy A, but it is what it is. I'm here to say that I'm ready to summon on this banner, and let me just go ahead and really quickly actually put the volume on because I like hearing these summon animations. The music is kind of whatever, but the summon animations are actually pretty enjoyable. So with that being said, with that being done, let's go ahead and get into this. Hopefully the summon luck is strong. Hopefully the power is with us. As you can see, we got a Trunks and Mai right off the bat. That's really good. I'm happy honestly because today was a pretty long day. Today was a pretty difficult day. I actually wanted to log off work early, go to the gym, wanted to do a couple things today, and then I ended up working about 10 hours, which is not crazy, but you know, it's 2 hours more than I wanted to. And you know, since I worked that late, then I started to do some things in the house. Then I looked at the time, and it was just a lot more later, and I didn't end up going to the gym. And the thing that got me mad, this is the thing that, whoa, off the rip. Oh my goodness. Yo, after seeing this, I'm gonna have to hit chest day tomorrow, tri day tomorrow, lat day tomorrow. I'm gonna have to do all upper body strength to try to look 1/10 as brolic as this Goku. Wow. Talk about an immediate W. Oh my lord. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things where the day kind of lasted longer than expected, and all these different things kind of culminated in just basically blowing everything off. And tomorrow, I'm praying to God that I have just enough support from my team because I was trying to literally finish something before logging off for the day, but I didn't have access rights. I didn't have the correct credentials. And I was literally fiddling with that for at least 2 hours. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. And tomorrow's Friday, and if you don't work in a corporate environment, you'll realize that if you don't get an answer quick on Friday, that means whatever you're trying to do on Friday is going to turn into a Monday situation, which usually isn't that big of a deal, but unfortunately, you know, it's Q3 right now. We bleeding into Q4, and my manager hit me and everyone else with a date. He came out and he said, listen, November 10 is when we need to get XYZ done. And whenever your manager or someone is leading a project says we need to get XYZ done by this date, just know that in engineering, you never really talk in dates, you talk in sprints. So a date means that big business, the people who make the big money, who call the shots, are basically saying we need this done by this date. In all fairness, what's crazy, and it's very confusing, and I think I'll probably talk to my manager about it at some point, is that when it came to this current deployment, we're basically just going through and deploying something for the first time. The thing that was very confusing to me is that this thing that we were trying to deploy is something that was supposed to be deployed like 6 months ago. And I was working on it 6 months ago and was pulled off it to work on something else that was supposedly just as important or even more important. And then the greatest irony of it all, and this happened when I was working at Amazon as well, is that, you know, I was working on stuff, I was working on changes, and the sister dependent team is like, oh, please, 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 we need this, we need this, we need this, please, please, please. So I work on it diligently. Our team works on it as well. We put time towards it. What ends up happening is that those people come back to us. They're like, oh, by the way, we need to do XYZ. we have these other dependencies. We can't even go live with this yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this out 6 months. So literally all the work I did, I mean, it's there, it's great, but it's not going to hit customers for another 6 months. So there's really no reason why they rushed us to work on this thing. But that's one of those things where when you work in a corporate world, it has less to do with parallelism and the most optimal thing and just more to do with if you can get the work done, do it. Because technically, the way our team, most teams work, most companies, is that they'll ask for your bandwidth and they'll ask, like, can you work on this? Can you do that? And if you're busy, you say no, which is what we did last year. So in fairness to them, it seems like they just wanted us to do this work so it was ready and they didn't have to wait. But it's just funny because, like, there's been so many jobs and so many positions where I've been like, oh, we got to work on this. It's the most important thing. We got to do this quick. And it's like, oh, okay, by the way, we're not going to use it. And then immediately afterward is another thing that is as important or more important that's fallen behind because no one was really working on it. And it's like, it's really schizophrenic because you're basically fighting for the most important thing. And the most important thing is whatever you're working on at the moment. And the old adage is if you have multiple things that are equally important, then nothing is important. But the only reason I mention that is to say that November 10th is exactly 1 week away tomorrow. So I basically need to get this change pushed in. I need to get some things cleaned up. And, you know, 1 week sounds like a lot of time, but you never know when things go wrong. You never know if you're trying to test things out, see what happens. There's a old adage that I just made up right now that's very old, is that when you try to rush for something, it never works out. There's no reason to rush. Like, if someone tells you you need to do something immediately, quickly, we got to do this right now, it ain't working out. Unless they tell you to push a button and that's all you got to do, it is not working out. Anytime you need to do something quick, there will be a situation that will arise that will make that quick turn into a detour, which turns into a dead end. But you know what, though? I'm not upset. Like at my last job, like when I was at Amazon, I remember being so defeated when they gave us a date because they literally said that, oh, we have this date, we need to get XYZ done. Oh, and by the way, the project you've been working on is irrelevant. It has nothing to do with this, and we're working on a completely new project that really you're not even able to do in the amount of time we want you to do it. And I remember that felt really terrible, but it also felt amazing because that's when I quit. I literally quit like 2 weeks before whatever deadline it was. I think it was like April 30th or something like that. And I remember just thinking, like, damn, this is crazy. Like, this is literally jumping off a sinking ship. Like, this is absolutely positively insane. And credit to my current company. I didn't even want to leave, really. Like, I was just kind of interviewing to interview. I was trying to see how the job market was. This is right before tech had a gigantic hiring freeze. So I got the job offer, and I'm like, I don't know, should I leave? Should I stay? And then once I heard, April 30th, we got to do this, we got to go do that. Working on a brand new product, headache. All we have is juniors, you're the leader. I'm like, you know what? This is looking like it's going to be a surgical summer. It was April. I was like, you know what? I quit now. I took 2 months off of work. Oh my goodness. I got COVID during that time period, and I still look at it fondly. There is absolutely nothing better than jumping from a burning wreck, like jumping off the Titanic. And even if you're jumping into ice water, it's better than the Titanic. Whatever you're on is not good. It's better to jump ship than stay on. And it just felt so good. And like even at my current company, like with this whole like this date, quote unquote, for like next week, we started this like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I didn't really care because it's like, oh, we have until this day to do XYZ. And in my head, it's like this should have been done. And now we actually have the resources and we're actually focusing on this. So I guess that's a good thing. I mean, it's something that we're doing. And honestly, I ain't gonna lie, like, even if we don't, quote-unquote, hit this date, I feel like I think we are. I think everything's A-okay. But I feel like it's literally a team of maybe 12 or 15 people. Of the 12 or 15, there's no juniors except for maybe 1 or 2 people. And it's like you're working with a team of people who are competent and you can get stuff done. And there's nothing wrong with juniors. I don't have anything against junior engineers. But when I was at Amazon, I remember my manager wanted me like move mountains with 2 juniors that were brand new hires. And listen, they weren't Tien, Yamcha, and Chaozu. If that's who pulled up and showed up, I'd be like, I bet we ready. But he literally gave me the short end of the stick where it's like, here's juniors, they're new hires, and he would keep getting mad whenever I told him like things were going to take time because during planning and estimates you usually give your estimate of how long things will take. And I remember giving him an estimate for August, and he's like, "Is there any way we could get that to February?" And this was like early January. I'm like, "Bro, you're asking for something in a month that I'm telling you is going to take a quarter? Like, are you crazy?" Well, we got the new baby. Um, and I remember thinking like, this guy's insane. I remember he kept saying, he's like, "Oh, well, the thing is, you have these, it's three people, me and these two new hires." He's like, "Why would you, basically say, you can't do this?" Oh, that's weird. There was a limit on the free summons? I didn't even notice that. Oh, wow, that's weird. Okay. And I remember like being frustrated at that and thinking it was really stupid because it really was dumb. Um, but I'm not there anymore. I left. I'm gone. My manager definitely was salty because I remember before I left, my manager was telling, "Ooh, Chaozu and Tien." I don't know what's better, Chaozu and Tien or Chaozu Yamcha Tien. I feel like Chaozu and Tien are just as good. But I remember my manager was super salty because I remember before I quit, he told me like, "If you're gonna quit, tell me you're gonna quit. I'm the lieutenant." Or no. He's like, "I'm the general. You're the lieutenant. We in this together. If you're trying to leave, let me know." Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I got you. Don't worry about it. I would never leave. I would never ever abandon you. Don't worry about it." And then meanwhile, I hit the dips immediately as soon as I could. By the way, if your manager ever tries to be quote unquote friends with you, it's like, "Hey, if you're thinking of leaving, tell me." There's someone I know. He's younger than me, and he told me that someone at his job, wasn't even his manager, told him that, was like, "Oh, are you thinking of leaving or whatever?" And he had like some issues at work where he had like a disagreement with someone, so like it wasn't the best working environment. And I remember he was like, "Oh, W." He was like, "Oh," he told one of his coworkers who he thought he was friendly with, like, "Oh, I'm applying and I'm gonna leave. Like my intention is to leave the company." And then after that, that person then went to his manager and told him like, "Hey, he's interviewing to leave anyway. You might as well fire him." And then he ended up getting fired. He got terminated. Now it ended up working out for him because he was able to get another job and he was able to get a severance package. He was able to get unemployment. You know what I mean? It worked out financially in that case. But it's just the point. You should never trust anyone, especially at your job. Like even for me, like I like my manager and I like my job, and I feel like recently I kind of made a newbie amateur mistake. I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing. I just wanted to mention it to my manager. I told him that someone in my family was sick because my dad is sick. And I was like, "I don't know if I'm going to have to take off of work. I don't know if I'm going to have to do anything, but I'm just letting you know just to share it." And the only reason I mention that is maybe a bad thing to talk about is I don't trust, the corporate world. I have no idea if me telling my manager that and if I wasn't doing good at work, I'm doing good at work. But if I wasn't doing good at work, maybe that'd be something my manager would use as a tool to be like, "All right, we should just fire this guy because he's got family issues. Might as well get rid of him." And, technically you're not allowed to do that. It's illegal. But, like, who has the money, bandwidth, and time to sue a company and then win it? You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole, problem with the whole hierarchy of even the legal structures. Like, it's like, yeah, you could sue your employer. I mean, like, one of my friends was literally fired literally illegally. Like he was fired just because of like some personal, not even an issue, but just something that the company like fired him off of, like something in his personal life. And like he went to a lawyer, and the lawyer's like, technically you could sue, but in order to sue they'd had to have wronged you, and you got to prove this and prove that. And it's like, I might as well just get another job at that point. Like, what do you like? What is this, Law and Order, bro? I'm gonna take my whole life and dedicate it to this? Like, it's ridiculous. When it comes to corporate America, I'd say don't be so gullible. I don't think what I did was necessarily the worst thing, which was share something with my manager, but it's something to take into consideration. Whoa, that's a huge fly-in. That's a lot of people. That's the only problem. When a lot of people fly in, sometimes there's too many cooks in the kitchen. I think I'm going to do one more summon and then call it quits, because honestly, I got blessed. I ain't going to lie to you. Off rip, we got to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who at 55% is a monster. So there's no real reason to continue this. There's no real reason to blow these Dragon Stones. And for some reason, I keep getting a lot of babies. That's the third baby so far. I don't know what it is about baby, but hopefully he's not bad. Hopefully that baby's really good, because I've got a lot of babies. Okay. Let's see. Alright, Super Boo, who is due an easy A at this point. Probably never will get it. Is this guy decent? I mean, I got 3 copies of him. Greatest attack attack for 1 turn. Keep plus 3 attack defense plus an additional one for super attack plus additional defense. Oh, okay. Plus an additional defense plus 100%. Attacks guaranteed to hit. Perform a critical hit and stuns the attacked enemy when there's a pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans category enemy. That's pretty good. Plus an additional key plus 3 attack plus 3 when there's a pure Saiyans category enemy. Plus an additional key plus 3 attack when there is a high. Okay. So he's basically a racist. He's basically an anti-Saiyan. You know what I mean? Put this guy in a Frieza team. He'll have 0 links with anyone, and you know his passive will proc. That's what it seems to be the case. Ooh, Beerus and Vegeta. Now Beerus and Vegeta have a very volatile situation. I mean, Beerus did make Vegeta's dad get on his knees and eat like a dog. So this could be a really good summon, or this could be a L, considering Vegeta has PTSD pent up. Let's see. So we have a Rainbow Vegito. I don't know what that means. I mean, does that mean we get another baby? I honestly don't know. Let's see. Come on. The suspense is killing me, please. Damn, for a... Ooh. Oh, okay. I actually don't mind. Damn, I forgot this guy is on this banner. He is on this banner. I forgot about that. He actually is pretty damn good. Kind of random to have him on the banner, honestly. Like, when you look at this banner, it's all GT characters. And then you have Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. But again, I'm not complaining. They're pretty damn lit. Damn, I'm surprised. This guy's on the banner, bro. How come I didn't get him, yo? That ain't fair. What the hell? I wish this banner was more 3+1. The problem is with banners that aren't 3+1, you're spending so many Dragon Stones and you're not even getting that single pity multi. Like, come on, man. That's disrespectful at that point. But, that is it. That is pretty legit. I will be going to bed now because, like I said, as happy as I am and as gung-ho as I am, the mood will flip quick because, you know, you never know because, you know, next week maybe the deadline does get hit. I become the fall guy, head's got to roll, and then I get fired, and then I'm going to be here talking like I was so uppity, I was not humble, I should have been more humble, how could I open my big mouth and say what I said when really I should have been putting my nose to the grindstone. So we took a W. We got the Super Saiyan 4 Goku immediately. And we got a bunch of babies. Whenever GT Villains gets a buff in the future, perhaps that baby can put in work. Right now is not that time, but hey, I mean, he's something. You know, he's got a lot of abilities. He's got a lot of passives. He has no linking partners, but we'll see what happens in the future. That is it. It is time to quit. And remember,